take up. That is the challenge to engage politically, as we have done in the past over major societal issues, and bring the considerable political weight that the labour movement still wields into alignment with many civil society and political allies, and join or even accelerate the growing political campaign we need to advance climate change solutions much more quickly, much more radically and effectively than they are currently being advanced today. To do that effectively, we of course need to maintain the weight of representation that the labour movement has built through its struggle over many decades in many countries of the world. Nobody will listen to us if we do not represent a major constituency, and unions today are in general not maintaining and certainly not growing our degree of representation. So in the midst of any discussion about climate change or any other social or political issue, unions must recognise that behind any contribution we might want to make stands our need to truly represent a major constituency of workers, and as a result to exercise real power on behalf of that constituency. That means we must continue to fight to see more and more workers in unions, and more of them actively involved in their unions. Going forward, we have to work hard to represent groups which have not always been represented as much or even as well as they should have been in the trade union movement. Women workers, part-time workers, young people, migrant workers, all critical parts of the service sector workforce need to be together and need to bring their voices to our local, national and global challenges. Failure to engage new members, particularly amongst constituencies of members in areas where unions have not traditionally been strong, will mean that whatever positive ideas or contributions we think we can bring to the climate change debate, or any other debate, risk being ignored in what are sadly too often arguments not based on the logic that lies behind the argument, but also on the power of those who are making the argument. And our power comes from only one place, our members and our weight of representation. We surely understand by now that we live in a world where, for right or wrong, good arguments alone are not enough, without the power to make political forces listen to them. An inevitable part of our struggle to argue for sustainable tourism includes something that is also one of the elements of sustainability that Gabriella from Philcount in Italy spoke of yesterday, social sustainability. That means essentially valuing those who work in a sector which nobody denies relies probably more than any other on the people who work in it. It means respecting and valuing their work through investing in them. It means training and career development, often a major weakness in much of the tourism sector. But also respecting and valuing their rights, which in so many parts of the world in this sector are systematically denied. This includes their rights to be in a union, a fundamental human right, too often denied to service workers around the world. An industry that embraces the rights of its workers can be sustainable, one that does not cannot be. We also have to recognise that sustainability in the sector is also about all the players in the industry. It is true that in Asturias we are mainly talking of small and medium-sized enterprises. However, looking from a global perspective, this is not necessarily the whole picture. The global reality is that the tourism industry is increasingly dominated by global hotel and tourism brands. Concentration among tour operators and airlines has been clear for some time. But in the world's hotel sector, global hotel chains are growing at a fast rate. In 12 years, Marriott has seen a 231% increase in the number of their branded hotels and a 179% increase in their rooms. Hilton, even more dramatic, has seen a 662% growth in their number of hotels, and branded rooms have grown in Hilton by 237%. For Starwood, the figures are 111 and 107, and the list goes on. Their dominance is also growing. In 2005, branded hotel chains controlled over 70% of all hotel rooms in North America. That is almost 3 out of every 4 hotel rooms in the hands of hotel chains. In Europe, the figure is between 20 and 25%, but growing, and in Asia, 15%, but growing quickly. And these figures will grow everywhere in the world. The implications of this for us as unions are simple. We need to develop our capacity to engage these global chains meaningfully about a range of issues, and their contribution to sustainability and the fight against climate change is a key part of that. But again, to do so, we need to be far more representative and better organised within them. Of all the forces at play, these chains will absolutely not listen to us unless we can show them they have to, and the way we do that is to build our union membership within them. Finally, as others have said already, we can of course also make contributions in the act locally arena. To do so, workers need a strong and independent voice, a union voice. With that, we can demand our right to participate, our right to information, our right to training, which brings workers in an informed way into the climate change challenge, our right to monitor employers as we normally think to do over workplace wages and conditions, and our right to see members in the poorest countries share the benefits of the right kinds of tourism development. And in exercising our rights to participate meaningfully, we will face some truly difficult issues which will on occasion see us weighing, on the one hand, potential employment challenges for many of our members, and on the other hand, the need for strong action to slow and then reverse a major global crisis. Understanding, discussing and managing what will no doubt be major apparent contradictions will certainly be part of the trade union movement experience of the climate change debate in the coming years. This conference, this great initiative, shows that at least in Spain our members are prepared to take up that challenge and to work with allies and others to find our way back from what otherwise will lead us all to a world we will not be proud to pass on to future generations. I thank you for the opportunity you've given me to be part of that here and to learn so much in these 2 days and to speak to you today. Thank you very much. Gracias, compañeros.